Okay, thank you. I'm sorry for that. Honorable members, I've already welcomed all of you. We had a portfolio committee yesterday on visual, and we had to have this one physically. And the reason is the one we all know. Part of the legal advice was to advise us to have this session physically. Because it's more of an investigating process, in the sense that there were allegations that were leveled against our minister, and the office of the speaker sent that correspondence to us, including attaching a letter that instructed us to investigate those allegations, which were leveled against our minister by our suspended Director General. We seek a legal advice as to how we were to undertake that responsibility. If I can also be personal about that, I was reluctant to take that responsibility. That's why also I wanted to check with the legal advice that it is compelled. Are we compelled to execute that particular responsibility? Unfortunately, the ruling of the legal advice forced us, said, no, you're compelled. You are the relevant committee. Though the speaker can refer that responsibility to anyone, but this one is more relevant to your committee to investigate your own minister, especially if the allegations are directed to him. And also they advise us as to how to do that. One of the responsibilities we were given is to write to the minister and attach those allegations so that the minister can respond in writing, of which the minister did so. He did make a response in writing. After that, we were instructed to call the person who have made the allegations to formally make that presentation to this portfolio committee, of which it was in June when the suspended DG made his own presentation. I think all of us were there. And on the 7th or 9th, members will correct me if I'm confused. I'm confusing things. We were expected to meet the minister. I think 3 days after we have met, they were supposed to meet the minister in a meeting that was scheduled to take place at SAA's offices in Gauteng. Unfortunately, the minister was not ready. By then, he claimed that he didn't receive the manuscript, including the presentation that was made by the suspended DG. Therefore, he asked us to give him enough time so that he can go through that process and then come back to us as to when to be available when he's ready. Unfortunately, that process took much longer than anticipated. To the extent that the minister came to propose the 7th of August Unfortunately, that day, because even also the time was very short for that, we could not be able to meet him on that particular day, because also it was a constituency day. It was on a Monday, and also most members, especially the ANC people, were already having a lot of programs that were supposed to be taken around the Mandela Month, around the Women's League, the Women's Month, and so on. Therefore, obviously, it was a very impossible day for us to have that session. He, therefore, between himself and the secretary, agreed on today's date later on. This is the date that was agreed with the minister. We were working around this 31st of August in Parliament. Unfortunately, last night, when it was totally impossible to communicate to any of the members and inform them that there is this letter. I received this letter, of which we all get that letter. I think all members see the letter, but the content of the letter is the second paragraph, which says, I wish to inform the committee that I will not be able to attend the meeting because of ill health. I've been advised this evening not to travel by air by a specialist doctor. Also, it's not all doom. There is a positive part of the letter that I therefore request the committee to provide me with an alternative day to enable me to respond to the allegation. My office will liaise with the chairperson and the committee secretary to setting a new date for the meeting. That is actually the content of the correspondence in front of all of us. Now, I took as it will be very irresponsible for me to say last night to members that please don't come, because I know members have already traveled to Cape Town, most of them, and it will be also irresponsible in the morning to just say the meeting is not taking place. Rather, let's have this meeting and make this letter and present this letter to the committee members so that we can be in a position to decide what is the next step. But I must say that I am also experiencing some pressure from the Speaker's office. They have already indicated that we are taking too long to finalize this matter. And I'm afraid it's not possible to contest them on that, because we have taken more time than we anticipated. This was supposed to be a very simple process where the person making allegation make presentation and the person who is alleged and state his case, and we just go and make a determination as a committee and including recommendations to the Speaker's office, and then the process out of our hands. I thought that will be taking within a month or two, but now we have dragged this issue, and in most cases is the availability of the minister. Therefore, I hope let's respond to this issue in a much more positive. I'm saying let's be constructive in dealing with it. But because all what we want at the end of the day is for the minister to state his case, and then we make a determination, and then we continue with our lives. Yeah, we've got a lot of issues to deal with. We still have load shedding. We still have Dinel in trouble in ICU. We still have poor performance of our state-owned. We need to pay attention to those serious challenges that are affecting our country instead of dealing with this minor issue. Because to me, it's still a very little issue. Just one person say this, I didn't do this. If there are complications, those complications will be above us. They will be dealt at another level, you know. But for us, we're supposed to do this very quick, and it's out of our hands. That is it, honorable members. I'm sorry if I have taken too long, but I wanted to take, because I've noticed some of the members have not been in this committee for a long time. I wanted them so that they can be in a position to understand where we come from. That's why I give this, and others perhaps have been forgotten about this. Now I wanted all of us to be in the same wavelength in terms of understanding where we are. That is it, members. Yeah. Honorable, let me start. Are you all going to speak on the letter? Yeah. So that I just follow my style of chairing? Okay. I'll start with Honorable Jabu, and then followed by Kachalia, followed by Honorable Msongo. I still Msongo? Okay. Okay. Followed by Dlamini, and then we'll tell you Zaruja. That is it, honorable members. Come, Honorable Mkhonazi.
Ngiyabonga Chairperson. I'm Jabulile Mkhonazi. Nice to meet you, honorable members, after such time. Chairperson, this must be noted. I hope it's translation icon in Parliament. Honorable Chairperson, the Minister is playing games with us. I'm short of a right word. You've taken us through. And after the meeting with the DG, we're supposed to finalize this matter. And it was the minister's office who requested that we see them separately, and we agreed on that. And I think with that agreement, we are being taken for a ride as this committee. After the meeting, the excuse that was saying he still needs to read the report, he still needs to get the information. I don't think it's fair to this court, to us, to this committee, because his office was there. His office was there, his PLO was there, his department was there when we were talking with Lokunja and with the DG. So I'm supporting what you are saying, that this was supposed to be a very simple a process. We see the DG, we see the minister, we did Lokunja in our report to the speaker. But why the delay? I think before we accept the Lokunja and the apology today from the minister, I think we need to be taken through to say why the delay, because there's been a delay to Lokunja to finalize the whole thing. Just to remind you, Chairperson and the committee, we still have to do the oversight with an SAA, which was cancelled on the 11th hour with this committee. And I think all of that is undermining the Lokunja in this committee. For me, Chairperson, I note the apology, but I just need to have, with the apology, I think we need to be given a detailed reasons why the minister is not able to attend to the matter. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Mkhonazi. Honorable Kachalia.
I'm just checking. This is new. There we are. Chair, thank you for the preface comments that you made. It puts the matter into perspective, and we thank you for this. I thank you for this. I note what the Minister has said in the letter I have before me. I wish to place on record that this is the second time that the Minister has postponed. Secondly, that this is a last-minute cancellation that was presented to us, to you and us, at last night. I'm not sure of the exact time, but perhaps you'll tell us what the exact time was. It was so late that you could not even tell us at that particular time, and we are now discussing it this morning. In addition to that, while the letter states reasons of ill health, there is no medical substantiation for this provided. I wish to point out that the Minister, by his own department's admission yesterday, was unable to attend our meeting, which was virtual, and the reason that was cited was that he was attending a cabinet meeting. So clearly he was well enough to attend a cabinet meeting, but by the time the letter was written in the evening, he was not well enough to attend. That needs to be investigated. In my view, taking all of this into consideration, and the Speaker's comments with the Honourable Chair has referred to that we must forthwith attend to this matter, the Minister must now provide a date in iron, set in stone, where he will attend, and, if necessary, that his doctors agree to, at a venue that that suits him in terms of his health. We will go to the mountain. We simply offered him, quite correctly, in terms of the Audi Alteram Partem rule, an opportunity to respond. He has not, for the reasons stated, on 2 occasions, and now I would suggest that he must be formally summoned. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Nhlongo.
Thanks, Chair. Chairperson, this is very disappointing that the Minister is not here, and we've got a lot of questions that we need to ask him in relation to this issue. But since he's not here, it's obvious that this meeting will not be proceeding. We're just talking for the sake. This is hide and seek. The Minister is running away from accountability. He does not want to come here and answer questions. And then we are like his children. We must go look for him. He's playing hide and seek. So he's hiding somewhere. We must just go and look for him and find him. I really don't want to agree with Honourable Kashala what he's saying, that we must go to him. He must come here and account to us. It must be made clear that he needs to come here and account. He must stop playing. He's just playing, and he must be told that we will not tolerate it. The date that will be set for the next meeting, it must be made clear to him that he needs to come here and answer questions. Otherwise, he just calls us here to come here for nothing. It's not like we don't have any other things to do. Now wherever he is, like what Honourable Kashala is saying, he was fit enough yesterday to attend a cabinet meeting. When did you go to consult the specialist doctor? We must find out what time did the cabinet meeting end and what time was he there to consult the doctor that told him that, no, you are not fit to fly, but you are fit to sit in a cabinet meeting that lasts for hours and hours, yet you can't fly. It is not true. It's not acceptable. If the Minister is really sick, perhaps he should resign and take care of his health, which ordinarily should be his priority, his health. If he's really, really sick, he must resign, and we get given somebody else as a minister, a person who is well enough and fit to do his duties.
Order that side.
If he's not fit enough to do his duties, he's old, he must sit at home and nurse his ill health. But he can't want to bake his cake and then eat it himself. No. If he's sick, he must stay at home. Otherwise, he needs to come here and account. This is not acceptable, Chair. We don't accept it. We are not prepared to play hide and seek with him. Mapatelana is hide and seek. We are not prepared to play hide and seek with him. We are not in the business of seeking for him everywhere. He knows he accounts to Parliament. He must come here. We will not go and look for him anywhere else. He must come to us. Thank you very much.
Honorable Dlamini?
Thanks, Chair. I think we must avoid taking the easy way out of this situation. It would be convenient now to blame the minister for this. And we will fall into a trap of believing our own suspicions that have not been backed by any form of evidence. Right now, the minister is saying he's not well. And he further alleges that the doctor, a specialist, has confirmed his state of health. Whether we want to believe this or not, if you want to question it, we must produce facts to rebut that version. And I don't think we have the necessary tools to do that right now. Two, let us not forget, Chair, that the delays that we are complaining about, to a certain extent, we've agreed to those delays. Because if we had the sense of urgency that we want to convince ourselves we have now in dealing with this matter, we shouldn't have agreed to this type of a situation where the minister says he's not going to sit in one room with the DG. He'll allow us to sit, then he'll come back later. If we really had that sense of urgency, we shouldn't have agreed at that time. Had we allowed that thing to happen, this thing would have been dead and buried a long time ago. Now let us take our own part in this thing, own it, then continue to blame whoever wants to blame. But if you want to argue that the minister is well, he's lying to us, let's prove that. Otherwise, there will not be a difference between us and the likes of EFF who said there'll be blackouts in the country. Backed by no shred of fact. There's never been a blackout. Let us not be those people. Let's deal with material facts. The minister is not well. I don't think there's any malice on the part of the minister for that made him not to be here.
Point of order, Chair.
Okay.
I must proceed. Thanks, Chair. Honorable member is lying. There are blackouts in this country. There's still load shedding. Even last night there was load shedding. No. It is a point of order. It is a fact.
No,
it's English, Chair.
There are blackouts in this country. People, there's no electricity. People are sitting in the dark. As we speak now, we can check the schedule of load shedding on the app. You will see there's parts of this country that are sitting in the dark. You can't lie like that.
Honorable Mhlongo, even you are even out of order. No member in Parliament is lying. It's one of the rules. We don't refer to another member.
Yeah, he's not telling the truth.
Okay. Honorable members, please, honorable members, don't defocus us on the matter at hand. We've got an issue. I know for a fact that the session is going to end soon, but it doesn't mean let's wobble and be all over the place. Honorable Dlamini, please be on the
point. I'm on the point.
And you don't provoke any reaction unnecessarily.
No, it's fine.
We
Chair.
do have enough time. So soon we'll leave this. Then after we can do those things.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
We'll get the dictionary after this to differentiate between blackouts and load shedding. But the point there is, I don't think there is any value in us discussing this letter now, where we've allowed this environment to exist. Let's correct that and be firmer going forward to say the minister be here. It's not a negotiation. We are not a substructure of the department. We must hold them to account. It means when we call them, they must come. We don't have to ask for their permission to meet them. It's part of their job to come to us. Let us start using that part of our job description effectively, so that we don't find ourselves being accused of wasting time and whatnot. Let's do our work. Thanks, Chair.
Thank
you, Chair. From my part, I think we note the letter from the minister and the content of it. We also understand that he bases his approach on issues of health, which are beyond our jurisdiction, and we can't comment on that. But however, Chair, I think this is rather unfortunate in a sense that we are not able to deal and finalize the matter, as you have said in your remarks. It has taken too long. And then if the minister says the committee can provide an alternative date for him to appear, I'm not sure if we say, for argument's sake, next week Tuesday, is he going to be able to fly? So I can foresee a situation where we may not be able to meet with the minister in the recent future, because him coming here will be dependent on his health being attended to, and it has improved. But I must also say that, not disputing what he says in the letter and all that, but on the basis of the time that he has taken to come before the committee, I'm not convinced that the minister is prioritizing coming to the committee. That's something that I want to base on. I'm not convinced that he prioritizes that. And Mr. Kudan is a senior minister. I don't think then this is a picture that he wants to paint. Even opening us as members to begin to speculate and cast aspersions on this part, just because we feel he's not helping us as the committee. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Honorable Gumede.
Thank you, Chair, and greetings to all the members and everyone in the House. Chair, mine will just be simple, that in noting the apology, may we say or take a decision as a committee to say, yes, the next attempt will be the last attempt, and the committee will proceed and make a conclusive or a final decision, which letter then will be written to the Speaker. Otherwise, we will have an endless kind of deferment, which may not be accepted. So that's my contribution, Chair. Otherwise, you'll be given an opportunity then to engage with relevant officials that you get us the date. I will take into cognizance as well what Honorable Kachalia raised. Wherever we are to meet, let's go there as the final last mile. Other than that, it's off.
Honorable, yeah, yes, sir. Isaac, yes. Sorry.
Chairperson, thank you. Yeah, lots has been said, and different opinions cast. Chairperson, the crux of the matter, in my understanding, is that the aspersion being created, and I'm confident that the rest of the committee members will agree with me, is that for some reason it sounds or it reads as if the minister might be avoiding accounting to this committee because of the protracted period of time that has elapsed. I mean, there was just the examples of, being able to attend cabinet meetings, being in China the last time round when we were supposed to meet, if my memory serves me correct. So it's just difficult to comprehend at 10 o'clock at night. But I mean, with due respect, all of us get ill. We're human. These things happen. It is my opinion that this committee has the right, and you should know that better than all of us, that we have the right to summons any individual to this committee. Honorable Dlamini, you're listening, is it? Yeah, comprehend that? Yeah. Cool. We have the right to summons any individual to this committee to account. Now, I want to ask you, Chairperson, as the Chairperson of this committee, that we agree and that we have an understanding and that you write to the Minister and you set a firm, confirmed date, not negotiable. If you don't want to use the term that we, the committee, summons him to appear before the committee on that date, well, you could then perhaps write the letter somewhat more diplomatically. But we should take a firm stand that to bring this matter to a point, that we should summons him to appear. Bottom line, so we can bring this matter to a close. My honourable colleague has alluded to that if we fail, then you, Chairperson, must then write a letter to the Speaker saying what? That we have failed to meet with the Minister, we've met with the Director, and we can move no further. No, I don't think that is the right and transparent conclusion to this matter for the sake of South Africans as a whole. So please, Chairperson, summons the Minister to appear before the committee by a fixed date and time, and let's put this matter to bed before the Minister goes off on a jaunt again to China or to Venezuela or somewhere. Thank you, Chair.
I'll provide the bill, Chair.
Thank you. Honorable Siweya.
Thank you, Chair, and good morning to the colleagues. So I'm more interested in ensuring that we do our work, and one, I want to suggest that in us seeking to have a conversation with the Minister. So when I read this letter, I was trying to interpret it. Is he saying he's staying at home, or is he saying, I can't travel, but maybe I am doing my work where I am? And from that context, I want to propose that, can't we go to him? That's the first one. The second one is that, looking at the program of Parliament, it should be done before we go to the next recess, which it means it's literally 1 month, in the month of September. He says his office with the Secretary of the Committee can decide a date. And I want to appeal to all of us that if we are serious about wanting to find answers so that we can, one, do our work, two, write a report to the Speaker, then let us say we should be willing, like we did today, to travel from wherever we were to come and say we are meeting him. If it means, for example, from this meeting now, Chair, you speak with the Secretary of the Committee and they speak and they agree, and then we say next week we are going to him, we do something like that. So it should have time frames in your conclusion, I'm requesting, but also I think we must go to him so that if indeed he is avoiding us, we will have evidence that we called him, he said he was in China. He comes, he says, I am sick. In the letter, he says, they say I must not fly. It doesn't go to an extent of saying, maybe I'm completely off work.
Is it a way of hiding that if we can see him addressing a press conference and we say how you are addressing a press conference, he will come and say, I never said I'm not working. I said, they said I must not fly. It can be an excuse. Let's exhaust the last step of going to where he is. If it fails, we come back, we write a report, and the speaker will see how to take it forward and so on. Thank you.
Okay. Honourable Member, I'm sorry, forgotten your name.
That's okay. I'm Honourable Graham Murray. Chairperson, thank you very much. I mean, as you know, I'm relatively new to the committee, so I'm not part of the sort of historical aspects of this issue. However, I concur that at the end of the day, he has to account to this portfolio, and I think the decision that has to be taken today is the how and when. But I support everybody's conclusion on that. Thank you.
Thank you. Perry, the last one.
Thanks, Chair. Good morning to your good self colleagues.
You love Carol.
Yeah, I'm lovable. Chair, my colleagues have said a mouthful, but Chair, I don't want to cast aspersions unnecessarily, as some of the colleagues have raised that. One, I think we need to have a way forward. My proposal to yourself, Chair, is that let's give the minister next week, because normally when you are not allowed to fly, it might be for more than 7 days. The whole of next week, the coming week of the 13th, somewhere there, your office, through the secretariat, write to the department, call on the minister to come and present himself to the committee. I don't think he's unable or he's running away. He's not. I know he's brave, very brave. I want us to have a way forward and agree on the date. The second week of September, we call, you decide on the date, you decide on the day, we'll all come back here. Parliament is opened, all of us will be working. We are willing to listen to him and do our work. So, Chair, can you write it down? On the week of the 13th, we call the minister. Secondly, Chair, if she doesn't appear, we write our report. I want to differ and disagree with those that we say we must go to KZN. It can't be correct. Because when he's unable to fly, meaning he's at home in KZN, he's not in Gauteng, where offices are, but it means he can't fly even to Gauteng. So we cannot go to his home, and it will be an expenditure to Parliament. Whatever that we talk or we take decisions, we must not be reckless of making unnecessary finances that will even hit back to us, or we have to treat other, even someone that we can summon can do the same. We don't want to play dilly-dallying. But Chair, I want to land in a proposal that on the week of the 17th, of the 13th, which is the second week of September, let's call the minister for the last time. I can see Mr. Lewis here as the PLO will convey message immediately when we leave here to the minister, or it's a final call. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you, honourable members. I'm happy that despite the choice of words, we are unanimous on this matter, that this is a very urgent issue that we have to complete, and it's very important to meet the minister. But I think we need to understand that while we really appreciate, because I want us to appreciate that the letter is referring to medical reasons. Then the person was saying we have to be scientific on that, in the sense that if you dismiss that, you have to dismiss that with another specialized knowledge. You know, you cannot just dismiss out of the blue. You have to have. I appreciate that perhaps the minister has made an apology which referred to medical reasons. I underline that. because I'm not a medical doctor, and we are not either. But there's one thing that we cannot avoid. If we follow the process objectively, is the fact that we were supposed to have done away with this for a long time ago, and the minister has been responsible for this delay. Therefore, suspicions, wrong as they are, but they are justifiable in this instance. We have to, unless we're not human. The reality of the situation is that one can develop those theories if a person seems to be his cooperation limited as we see it now, we experience now. Therefore, to avoid more suspicions, the minister must take this as a matter of urgency. That's why I agree what we need to do, as the letter I referred to, in relation also, including your proposal, that the secretary of the committee must find in the first week a day, together with the minister, that the minister is available. But also must be open, whether, because if the minister is advised not to fly, you cannot fly. There are a lot happening upstairs, I mean in the air, that could culminate for one being told not to fly. Therefore, if the minister can't fly, perhaps the committee will be compelled to fly. By the way, we were to meet him at SAAs, because we were to do an oversight there. But that also raises the suspicion. Because SAA at 11th, we still have to, I have a case already to defend with the chair of chairs about that, because tickets were already bought. And mind you, those are not our personal tickets we were to use, because we were to do an oversight work. It's parliament tickets. Therefore, I'm still have to go and account about those tickets, because they were bought, and then it was very difficult to cancel them at 11th hour. SAA wrote a letter a night before that they are not available. That also, and while they're writing that letter, a coincidence happened that the minister also was not available. You know, I'm saying while we have to be patient with each other, but we must be objective, as we represent here political parties that has to be seen objective, that have to be seen credible. We are not just representing ourselves here. We have to be ethical in our practice. We have to be objective in our practice, really genuine with our practice. Where there is something suspicious, you cannot say it's not suspicious. You know, it's suspicious. If somebody come around the corner crying, you cannot say, no, that guy likes to cry, and you go there. You know, you won't do that. You have to find out why this guy is crying in real life. You know. Now, let's agree that the secretary will try to come up with this date with the minister. I'm happy that Lebu is there as a PLO of the minister. He will articulate this in the light of our engagement here. This is a serious matter that we have to deal with it and finish it. And then they must have a date, even if that date culminates to us. I want to appeal to the members, even if it culminates to us going there, if it's been difficult for minister to fly, really, this medical issue became really a constraint to his capacity to fly, we will have to comply with it. With those words, honourable members, I would like the meeting to be adjourned. Thanks.